Alright, welcome back to Dreadnought Nautical Domination. It's Harnas here, and we are in the last battle of the first phase of the first row of battles in the finals. So, what we've got here is Colossus by Anikel. So, a deadly combination of firepower and protection. And on the other side, we've got Requiem by Matt 1248. An evasive and high firepower bow-on broadsider. I think this is going to be really a competitive match. I have no idea who's going to end up on top. So let's find out. Okay, shells away. I think that Requiem, if I remember correctly, uses quite heavy HE, APHE rounds. And I think a nickel is using frag. I don't remember exactly, but we should be able to find out soon. But as you can see, landing shells on Requiem from this range is quite difficult. It's not really a small ship, but it's very evasive in its approach. So not a single shell have been actually landed here. While already a nickel took like 5% points of damage. Any critical one? Yeah, okay. A bit of this turret have been actually clipped, so not insignificant, I would say. Another volley coming in. Okay, I think this just barely clipped it. It's an interesting match where one ship tries to kite away, but still keeping a good broadside angle, and the other one tries to chase it. I believe that Colossus is actually a quicker ship. Requiem is, if I understand correctly, deliberately made to be somewhat slower, so it doesn't end up actually ramming the opposition. It wants to just be bow in, and the rules forbid the ship to actually stop and reverse. Okay, another salvo coming in. Okay, that was quite a sizable hit. No guns destroyed, however. But we can already see that these materials and the repairs are definitely strong on the Colossus. Requiem also has good repair abilities, but not to that extent, I would say. And okay, two Casimate guns have actually been disabled, and now the turret. Oh, that's a huge hit. That's a very big loss for the Requiem. Unfortunately, those guns are in front, and despite of very good protection, it's quite likely to get them clipped. And you know, this kind of shots, they are, let's say, they can be taken fine, because all this bow is just wood and reinforced wood. It was meant to receive the damage. It's fine to take it, but the turret, yeah, that's not really a damage that Requiem wants to get. And as the DPS dropped on the Requiem, looks like Colossus was able to almost fully repair. So it's got all the firepower still on it. and just peppering Requiem. Okay, we are 4 minutes in, and looks like we've got a sizable gap difference between sizable gap between the HP values for both ships. So 100% to nearly 75. I think at this point it would have to be a miracle shot for the Requiem to really turn the tables around. Colossus is a very difficult ship to deal with. Very good firepower, good mobility, good protection, and also reinforced by good refrigerator of repairs. Good cargo bay, I should say, with a lot of resources there. And yeah, it looks like this guns, and as I said it, another hit was landed. Yeah, looks like the front turret is now totally out of operation. So it's only this casimate pair of guns that is really left on the Requiem. Yeah, I think that the problem was that as it got too close to Colossus, it just started to get these shots landed. Initially, it was really good at avoiding this damage, but then it just got more and more and more and more, and at some point it just wasn't able to respond back. And now Colossus is really landing a very big shots in the right spots. The most critical elements of the ship are in the back, so I think that it's got its ammo stores there, and I think AI as well. Okay, some more shots landing, and a huge confetti of blocks falling out of the Requiem. Requiem was still able to dodge a couple of shots and still land a bit of its own. Another big shot and yet another big shot. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff falling out. So one thing that Requiem was able to retain during this battle was the mobility. Really no propulsion or engine have been destroyed, so it still can do this dodgy movement and swing from one side to the other. But everything else was destroyed, and this might be the final shots. Yes, I think it's now too damaged. Okay, the game didn't register, but I think that we can just safely say that, yeah, okay, it's not responding. So let me reset and go for round number 2. Alright, we are back in the round number 2. So let's start. Let's see if Requiem can actually defeat Colossus and just get this contact point to its opponent to make up for round number 1. Looks like the initial salvo have been actually much more luckier for Colossus, as it managed to land something. Okay, another shot's landing, right. Looks like Colossus learned how to aim on this difficult target. Okay, most of those shells actually missed. But yeah, one of the initial ones actually clipped this super firing gun, which is terrible. And I think it doesn't have the failsafe, so I think that the gun just shot itself, which is quite unfortunate. Alright, quite a lot of shots delivered to the side, and we've got quite a good confetti of blocks. Looks like Colossus is able to avoid most of it. The turret cap just took it like a champ. No real damage done. Okay, this bow hit looked a bit worrying, but I think the propulsion is still there. Yeah, it seems like that. Ah, okay. Looks like Colossus is trying to vary its speed a bit. Might be a strategy to avoid long-range fire as well. It's also doing a little bit of this wavy motion as well, but I think the frequency is much higher. Requiem is doing a bit better job at dodging, I think. But still, I think that the firepower is on Colossus. Its shells just doing more. Okay, they landed really well now. So finally the Requiem is at 90%, and this super firing gun couldn't be repaired, which is unfortunate. Yeah, all the repair materials have been exhausted on the Requiem, and while we speak about that, Colossus sits on the 25,000 still, so that's a big difference. Firepower wise, we've got most of the casemates and pretty much only the front gun. Some dangerous shots in the rear section. Okay, feather pounding away. Requiem is still armed and dangerous, but Colossus seems to shrug all the damage off. Still's got 17.5k material to repair with, so yeah, I think it's going to go exactly the same as round number 1. Oh, that was a really decent hit. Looks like this rear tower was actually clipped. Okay. Some light damage on the Colossus. Still 10k materials to repair with. So there is still a high chance that Colossus is going to get from this battle back to port without any scratches, actually fully repaired. And Requiem is looking like the aggressor here. It just keeps on pushing, but the kite from Colossus is just too strong. It keeps the full control over the course of the battle. And this front turret just got wrecked, so we only have the custom-made guns and these dot shooting over superstructure mounted, or super firing I should say, talent. Okay, that was two big salvos now, and another shot, just devastating Requiem. This range, it looks like Colossus has Requiem's number, really. Another one. And now when Requiem is a bit deeper in the water, it cannot go this fast from side to side, so yeah, it's eating a lot more. And another huge shot. I think this is not going to go too long, unless it's out of firepower. No, I think that the ammo is definitely there. Yeah, I just thought that it paused shooting for a little bit, but no, I think it's shooting as expected. But yeah, it actually ran out of fuel. Okay, just ran out. But it shouldn't matter. I think it's just this salvo and it's going to be it. Actually no, partially deflected. And just glancing shot. One more? Yeah, maybe. Not sure. Yeah, I think we need a final one. No, that was enough. Okay. Alright, so congratulations to Nautical. Colossus was a very deadly opponent here. Requiem really tried, but it wasn't able to defeat it. So it's going to fall into the secondary bracket, where it's going to continue its course in the tournament. And of course, Colossus is moving on. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next episode.